Okay, guys. Hey, welcome to the live. I know some of you just came from Charmaine's live. And yes, ma'am, if you're listening to me, you're like giving me a mind fuck right there, sitting there going, Sunny's live. That was the notification half an hour before a live happens. I was like, no, I'm not live, Charmaine. No. Anyways, so obviously, you guys, if you haven't hit that like and the share for Jack and Lily, please do. Thank you guys for being here. Another 6:30 to 2:30 shift, which actually sucked because I actually asked to get off 10 minutes early because the fire alarm people were coming, right, for 2:30. So husband's like, I'm not going to make it. Can you do it? And I'm like, sure. Guess what? They came about 10 minutes ago. All I wanted to do was have a nice nap, right? Just a nice nap, but no, before the live. Got in maybe 20 minutes if I was lucky. And that's when I think I saw Yes Ma'am going, Sunny's live. Nope, not. Anyways, you guys, thank you guys again for being here. Um, Today's topic is going to be about Malehya'S trauma. And I say that in all seriousness. Seriousness. I can't even say that and make it sound like I mean it actually. But anyways, we're going to talk about that. But before we get started, let's just, I'm just gonna scrolling. Oh, look at you chatterboxes. Sammy from Miami, thank you for the $1 super sticker there. And Tom Lou, it's time for things to be said. These kids need to be found. Jack and Lily always. Thank you for the super sticker there. Appreciate that. And again, so I can't do a live tomorrow night because I got to work my 12 to 8 shift. But at least I got two of the 6:30 to 2:30 shifts. But anyways, you guys. So yeah, so Charmaine had a poll. I seen it on hers. And a lot of that is what we're going to get into. And it's about, a lot of it's going to be about the fact of Malehya'S trauma and her interview and how many times, well, she said trauma 3 times in the interview. But, and then we're also going to talk about the relationships during this time of all this trauma. And whether you guys think that actually matters in the scope of things. I personally do, and let me put it this way: it's one of a key thing that you would want to look at, or investigators would want to, look at behavior, right? Obviously, after whether it's Daniel or Malehy'a on this. I personally, I just could not, in my wildest imagination, think to have multiple, one second. I'll come to that super chat in a second there. Belinda believes. We all love Jack and Lily. Thank you, Belinda believes. So I'm gonna, before we get into all this, though, now I would not even be bringing up this topic if I didn't think it's course relevant to Jack and Lily, which I do. Um, Again, really, the scope of it is ask yourself, how many multiple relationships do you think you would be in within a 50-month time frame of 2 children disappearing, and then sitting there talking about about a house you're going to build, about the trips you're going to go on. But we'll get into that in just a minute, okay? So although I have receipts, I can't show the receipts, okay? But we'll talk about them, and then again, your guys' opinion is whatever your opinion is on it. But thank you guys all for being here. Let's just see. Hi, Kemi. Kimberly's in the house. Marie Antoinette, Tom Lou, Donosaur, Mustang Girl, Gasp Gal. Grey Wolf's in the house. Yes, ma'am. There's the troublemaker right there. I love you. Just kidding. Oh, Belinda and Chelsea. RV Shannon RV wanted me to tell you guys um, that she gives you all her love, and just wanted to ask me to let you guys know that. Shannon, of course, is very ill. Um, I knew she was watching that live yesterday because she ended up messaging me first before I messaged her. But, anyways, so everyone knows that Shannon RV, and if you don't, she is going through a lot of health issues going on, like, bad health, cancer. And just trying to, fight her hardest and everything like that, going through her treatments. But she wanted to specifically ask me to make sure that Chelsea and Belinda and you guys as well, um, to give her love to you guys. Okay. So, in saying that, Angelina, nice to see you here. Dodie, Amy, JJ is in the house. Lynette, Envision. By this point, I'm not going to go through everybody. I'm sorry. It's just, there's a lot. And a lot of people that have already said stuff now. Darlene Smith, Baby Monkey, Sharon Parker's in the house. Thank you, mods, for all you do. Again, it's always on the, you have to be a sub in order to chatter. So mostly mods probably don't have to do too much. Most people are pretty respectful of being here because at the end of the day, it's just adult conversations, talking about a serious case, obviously, and just everyone's entitled to their opinions respectfully. Make sure you hit the like button when you come in. Absolutely. Thanks, guys. And what else? What else? One second here. Scrolling. Ah, there she is. Howdy. Howdy, partner. Charmaine, I'm going to steal that, the rabbit hole song, I swear, for the ending close of my lives. Every time I hear it, I'm just like, when you just like a song, kind of like the 9 to 5 song, Charmaine, that song. Um, every time I hear the rabbit hole one, I'm always like, I'm going down. Much love, Sunny, mods and voices for Lily and Jack. Thanks, Belinda. Pretty Birdies is in the house. And scrolling. Hi, Joyous. How are you? Joyous, we're going to actually go back to you for just a second here. And Belinda's in the house here. Again, this is the GoFundMe. And Joyous, 21 hours ago, $691. Joyous, 4 days ago, $687. Joyous, 13 days ago, $696. Belinda Belisk, $200. Pinky McIntosh, $100. Beth Hindi, 69. Tammy, 25. Mabel Mullen, 25. Just the facts, ma'am. 35. Karen Johnson, 25. Anonymous, 14 days ago, 40, and on and on and on and on. All right. Share cares. And Charmaine, again, just, love them to pieces. But for all the people that have helped or are assisting for the legal justice for Jack and Lily, to help Belinda out, she loves you guys. I love you guys. Much appreciated. Not everyone can do monetary things, and that's okay. Because likes, comments to Belinda, comments about Jack and Lily and stuff like that, the support of you guys, the community, means the world. But I will drop the link again. I'm pretty sure, Joyous, you said you were going to adopt me sometime soon. That's what I think I heard you say. Shoved Belinda to the side. Belinda, no, Joyous. Anyways, just getting there. But anyways, thank you guys all for everything you're doing. So that's a GoFundMe. The other thing, if you guys don't mind, I want to show as well is right here. I think this one. Yeah, this would be it. So everyone knows Share Cares, that's in the chat and stuff like that. Share Cares. I know this was on the 21st, but she's like, got my order. Okay. Timu Holic here. The bookmarks turned out this time. Looks great. A little wide, but very nice on good quality paper. They are double-sided. Loving the new wristbands. See more. Well, I didn't see more, to be honest with you. I just grabbed the picture earlier when I got home and saw it, as I was in Facebook, and I was like, we got to give Share Cares using her own money, okay? Using her own money to do all these wonderful, beautiful things for Jack and Lily. And the pans, there's some wristbands, you guys know, the stickers. And, anyways, it's just wonderful, honestly. You know, when people just do kind acts and out of the goodness of their heart, especially when they do good acts and they expect nothing in return besides a simple thank you and that you're appreciated. So, thank you. You're appreciated. Thank you for the. I know that there's a package coming to me. She was showing me all the packages that are going out. Crazy, crazy, crazy amounts. But, anyways, thank you guys for everything. Okay, now, sorry guys, I'm just trying to. Hi, TJZ mom. I'm just trying to. Yeah, there you go. That's from Belinda. Oh my gosh, has anyone seen those Facebook videos? No. I was like, what am I reading here? Okay. Uh, Sinister Nanny. Hello. Leanne. Hello. Trauma or drama. Well, I think it's both, actually. To be honest with you. Hi, Lynn. Hell, it's after 8 p.m. Nap time over. Sheila's in the house. Tom Lou says, well, that should be interesting. Trauma. I can't wait for you. Oh, yeah. I can hardly wait till Alexa gets back. You know, just a truthologist. I like to think of myself as a truthologist. You know, sometimes you have to hold back on certain things, which I hate doing. I just like, if I want to say something, I just want to say it, you know. But sometimes you just can't because, you know, you got to protect people's, you know, sources or different things and stuff like that. Uh, or else, basically, no one's going to really want to, you know, be your source anymore. One second here. Belinda believes. That's the $13.99 super chat. We all love you, Jack and Lily. I just want to see what. One second here. Oh, Charmaine, now you're taking a case. Don't. Someone's sending me photos. Don't be messaging me during the live, please. Unless it's you know, well, stuff that's to do with Jack and Lily on there. Oh, Charmaine, I thought there was. Saw your message. Uh, there's Share Cares. There she is, right there. Okay, the answer is 3. Is that what the answer is? Okay. So, anyways, you guys, again, please hit the like and the share for Jack and Lily. First, I'll pop up. I got too many things here. All right. So, stop. Was there anything else I needed to do? Don't think so. All right. Share screen. I'm just going to play just a piece of this, okay? Make sure we got volume going on high. Yep. Got voice boost on. There we go.
That's how it all unfolded from there.
Well, actually, let's listen to a little bit more of that.
What all?
One sec. Let me go back to the question.
And then that's when, and said, I don't hear the kids.
Oh, right.
So we both went out. And then that's when we started looking for them. And that's how it all unfolded from there.
You called 911. And then chaos ensued, basically.
Yeah.
Do you remember those hours?
The trauma is so severe to the point where, like, I block it out because it's hard to,
You know what? Let me just finish her sentence there. It's kind of hard to focus on Jack and Lily because the trauma is so real that it's hard to focus because I'm too busy looking for the next partner of mine that's going to take care of my needs and, you know, and then, oops, wait a second. That one didn't work out. Let me just go get another one. Wait, sorry, Brandon. let's just go get breakfast, buddy. You know the guy that was bringing you breakfast in bed? The one that you were decided to cheat on with another person now? The person that you're with now? I think that's what you meant. The trauma is just hard when your focus is elsewhere, you know? And so that's kind of what, well, we're going to get into that. So again, so I'll come back to the poll later. It asked you pick 1, 2, 3, or 4. And it was basically like, well, how many people has Malehy'a been with since Jack and Lily went missing? So although I didn't tell you what it was for, that was what you were picking and choosing. How could Malehy'a go out and search for another missing person? Oh, yeah, right. Correct. Well, she's just doing her part, becoming a better person, fulfilling her needs. What about Jack and Lily, though, in all of this? And that's what, again, I wouldn't even talk about this if it wasn't so disgusting to me as a mother that I would even entertain 1, let alone 2, let alone 3. I think surpassed 4 there. What are we at, Malehy'a? Give me the proper count here properly, actually. But you're in the midst. I mean, okay, Daniel, we've given him tons of slack. Daniel in reality knows his own faults and any sort of cheating that he did with Malehy'a or not or whatever, even though he'll sit there and say no. I say bullshit to them both, to be honest with you. They're living these lives. That's obviously lives. If 2 people want to do that shit and there's no children around, you know what? Go to town. Go to absolute town. Because who cares? Live your life, live your battles, live your drug life, live your drinking, whatever it is, all that stuff. But when you have children that it's your role as a mother to take care of your children, to protect your children. Wait a second, but you didn't protect them. Because, again, bottom line is for Jack and Lily, and they are missing because of you. And yet you demand answers. And yet you are responsible. I hold Malehy'a more accountable considering she's the mother. Even though they're both obviously at fault. But Malehya''s the mother. There's nothing more than when you're the actual biological mother of children. And so I give Daniel a little bit of grace because it was Malehya''s job to protect her children, whether it was before Daniel or with Daniel. It was her job. So if they want to lay in bed with Meadow and make bullshit excuses, keep the kids out of school, talk about black eyes, CPS, not having warm clothing, stuff like all the stuff that goes with it. What kind of lifestyle is that for 2 children? 3, actually, because we got to include Meadow, to be brought up in this world. And yet she sits there, this traumatic Malehy'a, demanding answers for something that they caused. That's pretty self-righteous, to be honest with you. I'm going to go... Hi, Amy. Okay, so I'm going to go down... I'll read a few comments. A relationship would be the last thing on my mind. Jack and Lily would be the only thing on my mind. Not looking to get into another season. That's for sure. And that's the bottom line, right? Is like, would you yourself entertain a relationship right off the starting block of when Jack and Lily disappeared? Okay, we're not going to bring Danielle up about this. We already know about Taylor and every other ones and whatever. But this one's about Malehy'a. It's about time that Malehy'a took the heat that she deserves for the fact that she's the mother that laid in bed, that didn't check on her children, but yet could go in Thursday while Lily had a cough and both call in Jack and Lily on Thursday, and then they disappear on Friday. How kawinky dinky is that? Right. How far away from the area has been searched at Janice Potty? Friends are out there searching all the times, so new ideas are welcome. Oh yes, yes. Those nice pictures of Malaya, Clutch Some Pearls showed him. You know, breakfast. You know, the breakfast boy. Imagine being the guy that. Well, let's skip over Brandon, the first guy. Okay, let's move on to number 2. Imagine being that guy that is literally fallen madly in love with Malaya Brooks Murray. Would do anything for her. Anything. Oh, no, 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 no. That doesn't matter, does it, Malaya? He's not good enough for you. We don't need the breakfast boy that would bring you breakfast and, you know, be this amazing person. That's too good for you, isn't it? Because you like the ones that just really treat you bad. You like to bring keep following the same patterns over and over. Did you change? Well, let's talk about this. Okay, I'm just gonna still want to yay Belinda, voice for Lily and Jack and everyone who refuses to stop looking for the truth. What's done in the dark will come to light. Absolutely, right? Now, I still want to preface this by saying Malaya has not been charged for anything. Daniel has not been charged for anything. Nobody has been charged, or there's no answers in the case of Jack and Lily. So, we can talk about things. We certainly can. We can talk about our feelings, our thoughts, our opinions, what we think happened, etc., etc., etc. And we can talk about, oh, I don't know, message from, we'll just call him the breakfast boy. If anyone already knows the name, you already know it. But let's talk about the breakfast boy. Okay, I gotta scroll down. Anyone remember when she went through how she keeps herself busy? Yeah, well, I remember this because I remember when Haley said that basically Haley was pretty pissed off. It's like you got 2 missing children and you're doing your nails and you're dolling yourself up. I mean, that's right after the children are missing, and that's shit you're doing. I think that's what she meant by busy. Or maybe a bunk bed pal, you know? Maybe that busy. All I know is, from our perception, it wasn't like Malaya was sitting there, you know, posting to her socials, doing interviews, being a voice for Jack and Lily. You know what? She can believe whatever makes Malaya feel better about herself at the end of the day. But she has to, regardless, live with what's in here and where the truth lies with everything. What she's done, what led up to Jack and Lily's disappearance, she has to live with all that, regardless, right? She can put it in a box and block it out. But you know what? It's still there. And they're still your children. Yeah. You know, for me, it's hard because, like I said, you try to sit there and watch something, you know, without judgment, and you're just trying to watch, like, but the thing is how it's not easy not to judge when you've already seen a year's worth of actions. Hold on, non-actions. Let's put it that way. And then to sit there and it's kind of like when you're hearing things like, or skipping over pieces about, you know, waking up and stuff like that, and then the interviews. Now, I get it. It's my perception. It might be your perception. It might not be your perception. But when you're watching something and in your head, like mine, and I'm thinking about all the other cases that I've followed, that I watch all the time, hundreds and hundreds of cases. And then I think to myself, you're not even pleading for your kids or who has them on here, but you suspect possibly that somebody took them and they're abducted, but yet that's off kind of like the table really for the RCMP, you didn't show a tear streaming down your face at all. So I'm just looking at all that stuff. So I'm just judging on everything, that the words that are coming out, by the emotions or lack thereof, by what's not being said as much as what's being said. And when you have 2 children missing and then you're waiting 15 months for the mother of Jack and Lily to speak again, I think a lot of us were just really disgusted. At first, I think we were like, oh, Malay's finally speaking. And then we listened to it. And then it enrages you even more. Because it was like listening to fluff. But I'm going to get into... Let's see here. Now I got to go back because I went to go look at Charmaine's message. Now I got to go back to what I had up. 1 second here. Now where was I, Charmaine? I had it all nice. Okay. Whoops. Too busy. All right. 1 second. So... hold on, I'm going to scroll right down to the bottom. Sorry, guys, if I'm missing a lot. You guys, I only got 35 seconds on. All right. Joyce, I thought it was just chat. No audio from Sunny. Oh, definite audio. Okay. Oh, now I lost my spot again. Did I lose my spot again? Oh, see, I had myself all prepped. Blame this on Charmaine because she sent me a message. And so then I went to go look at that message. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Okay, stop. Oh my god, I suck at this. It's one of those ones where I have to stop it. Okay, wait. Open up. Oh, yeah. Good one. Okay. No, stop. Okay. Stop. I'll get my shit together. Don't worry about that. Let's see here. Oh, no. That one's playing the recording. I don't want that. Where are you? Be good to me, you stupid thing. That's recording. Okay. Nope. Don't want that one. Do I want that one? Nope, don't want that one. Okay. Let's see there. Now, we're going to be talking about, you know, that poor man that made breakfast for Malaya? So these will be his words. That's the new fuck toy of the month. That's the one who she slept with as well. And that's who she's fucking now. Oh, wow. She did it the night before the CBC thing and then went live. Like, she dead ass recorded that the morning after. The trauma of it all. I just want to say that the trauma that she must be feeling as she's cheating with another guy on the breakfast guy. You know, the one that made her breakfast? The one that believed in her? The one that loved her? Yes, she was out on a search that day before for a different fella missing in Harmony, and told me she couldn't talk much all day and that she would call me and say good night and tell me about the day, that long story tell me about her day. Then, long story short, I sat and waited and waited and waited while she's riding some drunk DICK. After making me quit drinking. One second. Next one. So, after making me quit drinking, if you want to continue seeing me, you need to quit drinking right now. And I've never had a drink after for 2.5 months until she went and slept. I feel like I'm reading a bedtime story to you guys. And yet it's about 2 children that are missing and the trauma that she must be facing as she spent every day searching for Jack and Lily. Poor Malehya'S, you poor little thing. So he basically says that he ruined his sobriety streak, shock, and got wasted. But I would have done anything for her, and she took advantage of my kindness and body, basically. The trauma, I'm just picturing the trauma in all this. Shows a bit about who she is. Literally jumped on the first D to swing her way when I was there. Not done yet. Where's the other one? Boom, boom, boom. Isn't that you guys? What? Totally screwed up Harlequin. You know, I used to read Harlequin romance just praying for Breakfast Guy. All right? Just praying for someone like Breakfast Guy. Someone to bring me that idolizes me, that, you know, well, mind you, I have a husband like that now, but I'm talking about when I was younger, you know. You got a good guy, but you know what? Not good enough, because along comes another guy. Well, fuck you, Breakfast Guy. And all you're thinking about is the trauma that she's endured in the fight for justice, to be the voice, to be the mother for Jack and Lily. Yep. All right. Where was I? Hold on, I gotta find the one post I was looking for. Just bear with me a second. Nope, that's not the one. Gotta go to the next. Okay, this is the one. Oh, get in my face, Twitter. This is the one, okay? This is the one that's gonna hit ya right there. Breakfast Guy, I'm so sorry, but in saying that, you should have known better. All right? You should have saw the red flags pre-dating. You know, he says, she talked to me. Oh, by the way, it's not that I was having the conversation with Breakfast Guy, okay? Trust me, I would in a second. So she says, or he says, you know, she talked to me about plans like putting a house up on her mom's property together and building a greenhouse, and so many trips she said she wanted to go on, and things to do with me, and non-stop talking about a future. I had been craving so bad, and I finally felt like I found the woman to just settle down with and grow old with. And then shit, she went and did that. Breakfast Guy, I feel bad for you, obviously, but then by the same token, I said this in my live yesterday. What fucking idiots get themselves involved when there's 2 children missing and there's no answers? And the focus should be on Jack and Lily. I'm sorry that your heart got broken by yet another one. So it just begs you to answer. Daniel, oh Daniel. You know, Malehya'S trying to come off, I think, like she's the better person here. I think you guys are both fucked up. That's my personal opinion. And the reason, okay, so that's it for basically the messages. But, you know, in saying that though, okay, let's take out the situation. Is that I don't know that Malehy'a would know a good guy if it came and hit her in the head. Because those ones won't last. In fact, none of them last. But can you imagine during this time that 2 children, her children, Jack and Lily, are missing? That the poor trauma that Malehy'a is going through, it's obviously more than any of us could ever imagine, Malehy'a. I think I made fun of it a few lives ago when I said, oops, I think you misspoke there, Malehy'a. The trauma is about all the different men. That seems to be your trauma. About, oh darn, that one didn't work out. But it's not them. It's Malehy'a. Right? Oop, let me get on that saddle again. Jack and Lily are missing, but you know what? Frickin' Tonto, you take it. Ride, Tonto, ride. Oops. Got off Tonto, got onto a stallion. Right, breakfast guy. Yeah. And now I think we've moved on to a pony. I just think in the scope of things, when you look at Jack and Lily's case, listen to this interview that's, to me, hollow. But just to know, of course, now Malehy'a doesn't want you, of course, to know this information. Of course not. Because why? It would make her look bad. No, you've done that yourself already. And this just adds to the pile, in my opinion. But let me go. Well, actually, you know what? Let's go to your guys' comments. Because me personally, like, there's no words to describe to me the fact that regardless of how many horses and ponies and donkeys that she's been with in the time of Jack and Lily missing, does that really make you feel like you're, that she's just grieving beyond repair? The trauma is just so traumatic. Let me find the other 2 spots that she used trauma. Okay. 717. Let's go to 717. You know, I think, for me personally, like I said, I'm actually not talking about this because I think it's drama. I think there is drama, absolutely, in all of this. To me, that it's relevant to everything else. Because most people will not understand how many relationships someone must have. You know, are we going to give the excuse that, oh my God, the trauma is so painful that she's just, you know, just hopping from guy to guy to guy to deal with the fact that Jack and Lily are missing? Come on now. What did we see in all this time with everything up until this point? Oops, 1 second. So what did I say? 717. 1732. Boom, 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 boom. Let's go to 1730. We'll play it from 1709.
2, that it would jeopardize the case, and I just did whatever they told me to do because I didn't want to jeopardize the case in any way. And I also wasn't ready because I'm continuing to go through extreme trauma, and even this is extremely hard for me.
And there has been intense scrutiny on you and your family
Intense
in the
scrutiny.
last few months.
I don't feel I owe people anything. If anything, I'm owed answers.
Ah, there we go. There we go, Malaya. You don't feel like you owe people anything, really? Considering the children disappeared underneath your care? And you don't feel like you owe people anything for all the money that has been put out in the search and efforts for Jack and Lily Sullivan? And you don't feel like you owe people anything, really? That you're owed the answers. Isn't that just righteous again? So again, going back to how I feel this is all, in a sense, relevant to Jack and Lily's disappearance. Because it's just, to me, just another layer of BS to do with this, oh my God, yeah, I'm out there every day, you know, being a voice. No, in fact, you weren't. And you asked us to be the voices for Jack and Lily. And then instead of thanking people and being grateful, instead you were, in a sense, going on the attack of basically not even a thank you to anybody, right? It was just all about Malaya, her trauma. She didn't even scream out and say, hey, please, whoever has Jack and Lily, you know? Oh, yep. The night before doing a CBC interview at Chelsea Gray, her first one, she owes Breakfast Guy a fucking apology for starters, not to mention every boot that walks searching for her kids. Crazy. So just talking about it, I don't know, red flags to add to the multiple others, because it's just not about this. It just shows who Malaya is. That she so much more cares about her own needs instead of the fight and justice for Jack and Lily, her own two children's. So yeah, in the scope of things, what you do after the fact of children going disappearing, my first thought is, in a year, how many guys could I possibly, go to bed with? How many guys could I possibly get to fall in love with me? And then, so the one that she got now, well, you can kiss that goodbye pretty soon as well. Malaya is, to me, in my opinion, too fucked up. She's not fixed. I think she believes she's trying to fix herself. What? I don't care. Actually, I don't even care that she's trying to fix herself. It's not for me to care. Right? I'm here to advocate for Jack and Lily, the two children that are missing because of you two. But you're their mother. So that actually counts more. And this is the type of person that you're showing the world. This is a part that I don't get even. Secrets that are kept in the dark come to the light. So you know that this stuff's going to get out there. But yet she's willing to do all that stuff. I feel like she feels like she owes it to herself. Do you feel like you owe it to Jack and Lily? Malaya is my question. Do you feel like you owe Jack and Lily to be hopping around boyfriend to boyfriend? Or do you think you owe it to Jack and Lily to actually act like the mother of Jack and Lily? And if you truly had nothing to do with any of the disappearance of Jack and Lily, or knowledge, then you think that you'd spend pretty much all your spare time, because you have a lot of it, actually being out there, being a public figure for your children, advocating on your Facebook. You'd be wanting to do a heck of a lot more. But, this reminds me so much of Sebastian Rogers' case. Is like, well, you don't know what we're doing behind the scenes. You guys can say all you want, but we're doing all this behind the scenes. Shut the fuck up with that shit. You know, we heard it in the Sebastian Rogers, you know, with Katie Proudfoot and Christopher. Yeah, well, I mean, Christopher Proudfoot, right? Went on freaking pretty much everybody's lives, became a permanent fixture, kind of like Anita is on Mike's channel over there, you know? And then all of a sudden, it's like, you never saw them searching and putting up posters. Malaya, the trauma of it all. I mean, because really, yeah, okay, let's go put up some posters around where I live. Okay, let me pretend, this is my opinion, let me pretend that, you know, we're going to go searching on the quads for Jack and Lily, you know, that are definitely not in the woods, according to you, because, you know, someone else took them. So they're alive and well, and you're just waiting for them to come on home. But while you're waiting for them to come on home, hey, hey, X number 1, hey, X number 2, hey, X number 3. Oh, howdy, number 4, how are you? Right? His ass will be dumped soon, and then he's going to be sitting there saying, and I loved her. I would have done anything for her. She obviously has that aura that draws people in and then spits them back out. But she's the one family member being informed, right? Yeah, right. Okay, I'm just going to go to your guys' thoughts. What guy in the right mind would want to... Okay, breakfast guy, I'm especially actually all of you guys. Come on now. What guy in the right mind would want anything to do with her when this is all going on in her life? Well, you know, I ask myself that too, Tom Lou. And then I think of all those Brian Koberger lovers that are messaging him in the prison, all these women that marry men that are murderers, and it doesn't matter. Okay, these people exist out there. Now, I don't want to put, obviously, this case in the case of the SKs and stuff like that. That's just freaking ridiculous. There's a word for that again. Charmaine would probably know it. You know, when you like the bad boys, the real bad boys. You know? But the thing is that I think we know, right? There's a lot of people out there that are tuned out to frickin' Pluto, right? They're fucking off on the Mars bar type of thing. And their thinking is so much more than the average normal person's brain, in a sense. That what they think they're doing is somehow acceptable, or this shit and that shit. Now, in this particular case, there's no answers, right? We can only assume that we know answers, but there is no answers. But still, the question remains, would you involve yourself in a situation with, whether it's Daniel or Malaya, when 2 children are missing, there's no answers, and the weirdness of the entire case? And you're going to come in on your white horse and think that somehow you're going to be that person for Malaya? Malaya needs to take care of Malaya first and foremost, but she's looking for Wub in all the wrong places, and even if she found the right one, she wouldn't know it if it hit her in the face. But should Malaya? I mean, obviously she can do what she wants, but then we can judge how we want to go along with everything that we've seen from Malaya, or lack thereof. But it's 2 children, Jack and Lily, and this is you wanting to be the role model? And you think that somehow, amongst all this, that Meadow should be in yours and Daniel's care? Absolutely not. Okay, scrolling. No, Belinda said that. But she's not, like, she's talkative. She might talk soft, but she's talkative. Yep, millions of tax dollars spent, hundreds, if not thousands of hours. I get infuriated, you know? Reminds me of, like, that other case where she faked her own abduction and then couple days later, she, runs home acting like she escaped, costing the state hundreds of thousands of dollars while she portrayed like she was abducted. So I feel like in this case, my opinion, that in this case, we're being deceived regardless. And that hundreds, if not millions at this point, of dollars have been spent in the search for answers for Jack and Lily. And if it ever comes to fruition that they or one are charged with involvement, I hope that they are gone after for all of the expenses that were incurred. If it comes to fruition that that's the answer. Now, Helicopter Grandma, I can say that we are all heartbroken for Jack and Lily. Well, my title here is, I got to play one more, but actually, no, I'll bring it up. Hearts Afire. Basically, the heart's basically broken and left behind, till the next guy comes along to fix you, right, Malaya? I mean, we all know Malaya had one job, right, for 6 months, if that, when she was 15 years old. Good way to take care of yourself, Malaya. Way to take care of yourself, No. I mean, granted, by perception, Malaya, naive as fuck, to be honest with you, obviously has no self-worth. In order for Malaya to put herself in these positions over and over again, she doesn't value herself. She left herself in the relationship with Daniel, but these were all her choices that ended up leading to Jack and Lily being missing, gone, whatever you want to think. All because of her own choices. Because Malaya doesn't love herself. And Malaya could have had definitely a rough life. A lot of people do, But if you play a victim, or you want people to take care of you and stuff like that, and then you wonder why you're depressed or maybe have health issues, mental health issues going on and stuff like that, it's because you didn't love yourself enough to take care of yourself and love yourself first and foremost. Because that's the only way that you can pass love around to your children, to others in your life, to family, people that care about you and stuff like that. But Malaya to me seems like she's in a world of her own pain, her own, how the fuck did I even get here? Well, because you put yourself in this position. You're the one making these choices, and you're continuing to make these choices. That reminds me of Shal, the tarot spirit, that we could. And again, Shal, thank you so much, you guys. Thanks so much for either subbing to Shal. If you haven't, please do. You guys go back to her reads. I actually remember that listening to Shal when she said about, that, and I think most of us, but this even enhances it more, about the fact that she continues to keep making these choices. That she thinks she's changing, but she's not changed. She's just the same Malaya. But Malaya was kind enough to tell Breakfast Guy that he needed to stop drinking. And he did, you guys, for 2.5 months. Until she cheated on his ass. And then he went back to drinking. I wonder what Malaya should fix. No drinking is your new standard. No drugs, no drinking, because you're going to be an addiction counselor. Random question: When did Dee Pryor's relationship? When did Dee Pryor relationship end? Anyone know, or the reason why? Are you talking about Taylor, Chelsea? And if so, do me a favor, put a couple stop sign emotes beside it, so that when I'm scrolling down, that I see it. In my information, don't get these missing kids. This one's Summers, Sebastian Dillon's, absolutely. At least Dylan Rounds got closure, though. You're talking about the Dylan from Canada. That's one you're talking about. It's clear to me that she has mental health issues, absolutely fucked up, that she refuses to address. What is glaringly obvious, red flag, is her choice of attire during the July 1st parade and then the interview. Absolutely. Hi, Simone. Ungrateful, entitled, and selfish witch. Okay? But quacks like a duck, walks like a duck, doesn't act like a swan. Gotta be a duck. Angelina, I wonder if it was just to cover why she wasn't talking. Thanks for going to school to be an addictions counselor. You should have taken a parenting course on how to love your children like we do. No, she definitely, you guys, unless we heard it here, which we did in this interview, she does. Wholeheartedly so. That the trauma in itself is forcing her to keep going from guy to guy. That's typically what everyone does when two children go missing. So I believe she does love them. I believe Malehya'S, just without sarcasm. Definitely believe that Malehya'S believes that she loved her children. Would we consider that loving your children? Now, loving your children obviously is unconditional love. But what you do for them, obviously, and how you protect them and all that stuff, also is encompassing in loving your children. I believe Malehya'S absolutely believes that she was a pretty good mother. I beg to differ. She probably did a lot of wonderful things with Jack and Lily. But then, in the midst of these relationships, look where it ended up. Look where it ended up. Look whose two children are missing. So, did she take care of Jack and Lily? Does she seem remorseful? This, again, if this ever comes to fruition, that she had knowledge or knew about any of this, would that be her loving her children unconditionally? Or loving the fact that her ass stayed out of prison and that she didn't lose Meadow? Is that what would matter most to Malehya'S? But we'll have to wait and see for answers. Hi, Brian. I find her, she was using his body and, what else was it? Body, heart, and soul. And it's like he never made her a breakfast at all, isn't it? If she is sleeping around, how does that help the trauma? She said, well, exactly. That's just exactly it. So you want us to buy that you're in this deep trauma. But you know what? Let's just overlook that during pretty much the entire course that Jack and Lily have been missing, that this is what we call deep trauma. That you need to block it. That you need to block it so much so that you're just going to hop on this deed and that deed and this one and just keep on hopping like a frickin' bunny rabbit there. Little Energizer bunny. And we're supposed to believe that you're traumatized. That's not somebody that's traumatized. That's somebody, to me, that's doing what she feels she needs to have in her life, what she needs to do. Great. 2 children weren't missing? Good on you. Imagine bringing water to people searching for your kids while you know exactly what happened to the kids, in your opinion. Imagine showing up for a search if you know your children aren't in the woods because they're being held captive somewhere and you're just waiting for them to come home so you can give them all those gifts. All the gifts that you keep buying. I believe Malehya'S knows that they're not coming home. And I feel like it's her way of, again, my opinion, her guilty conscience kicking in. And you can see her veer off during this interview. Again, we don't know the truth of all of this. But God, you guys, there's so much freaking ding-dang doo-doo shit going on in this case. It's abnormal. Okay, even cases that are horrific and sad, and children go missing or someone's murdered and stuff like that. This tops the charts of the BS. that I've ever witnessed in watching cases. Like, it's kind of like you can watch this many cases. You know, you kind of surmise the same thing. Well, the husband did it, and he's just trying to cover it up, and and they turn out to be like that. But then you got this Canadian case here with Jack and Lily Sullivan. And it's got to top the most ridiculous BS that I've ever listened to or ever had the displeasure of witnessing for what two parents, stepdad, what two parents are doing to show that they're so invested in finding answers for Jack and Lily. Daniel, I'm not even going to make a comment about the stapler that you got 3 months later until you started hanging up flyers. I'm not even going to mention that shit. Okay? My focus is on Malaya. I'm going to leave you mostly alone. Because Malaya is the mother of these two children. Daniel is not their father. Daniel was just another guy, truthfully. And Malaya's wrong. And had another child. Well, chances are there's going to be another guy and Malaya's wrong, and there's going to be another child. Or two, or three. Because she hasn't stopped. It's just a matter of perhaps maybe when she gets pregnant next again. And won't you guys feel absolutely horrified if that's the case? And wouldn't you guys absolutely pray that the baby would be taken away? But just besides the fact of Jack, well, including the fact of Jack and Lily missing, but that's because of just on the basis of that they went missing underneath their, of course, parental watch. And then, but wouldn't it be horrific? I would hope that just because of all the other things, that another baby wouldn't be able to really touch her hands where that a child could stay in the same home. But a lot of times the law isn't right and it isn't fair. And children that, there's so many children that should be taken away from their homes, and the bullshit CPS shit sometimes, not doing their due diligence, A person has knowledge that the pattern that they repeat is self-defeating to many partners, and breaking up while dealing with this ordeal isn't working. DBT is helpful. Stop the drama. Malaya, stop the drama. I bet they had to drag her ass out of bed for that interview. Well, it must have been at least an hour before. Had to put some curly curls in that hair. Okay, wait. So, DM and her met on Facebook dating, right? And he moved to Patty's within 2 weeks. Yep. She's not looking for what's best for her kids. Disgusting. What happened to Jacqueline? Yeah, I mean, obviously Daniel said that, right? Like, hey, Daniel, come on. Come move into my, cash cow Grandma Patty's home. I take advantage of her. Come on, Daniel. Let's take advantage of her together. Just sick. Okay. Let me find. Sorry if I'm way behind, people. Let me catch myself up. In my opinion, her friends feel the same way. They have to. Absolutely. On that one. Absolutely, Charmaine. Hi, Tashpon. Says a lot to take advantage of someone when they're vulnerable and traumatized in the least. Yeah, well, okay, you have to remember, though, men think with their head that's in the wrong position, right? They don't care about that shit. Most of them. There's some good ones out there. Most of them don't care about that. Whether, I don't know, could it be for limelight? Like, at what point, I guess this is when she did up her nails and, went out, man attract in there, putting on her magnet appeal. What really disgusts me is when she refers to herself in terms that you refer to a grandmother in the indigenous community, old wise woman. You are not. Brooke and we all know, as Sunny always says, we did not fall off the turnip truck yesterday. We certainly did not. We are not stupid. We know all the shit that we're seeing. And then you're going, is this normal? Is in the scope of the entire case, from timelines to the lack of remorse, no tears, to the lack of interviews from the mother, to Daniel doing overkill and his inconsistencies and his stories, and all this human behavior stuff going on, right? Just like, that's only like the small part of the freaking cake, right? Is this normal? Anyone that's followed true crime for years and watched tons of whatever, you know that this isn't normal. So if it's not normal, then what are the chances that it's a bunch of BS? I mean, there's a very slim there is a percentage out there, right, that we all could be totally off our rockers. There is that slim chance that we're all the stupid people and they're the smart ones, but there is a chance that could be something that comes from left field, and I ain't seeing it. And if I do see it, absolutely. But when I'm watching both sides individually, or comments made of, well, Malehya'S trying to get me in trouble so she doesn't get blamed for anything, or she's trying to blame everything on me so that I don't get, or so she doesn't get in trouble. Shit, too busy thinking of something else. Anyways, let me say that again. She's trying to blame everything on me so she doesn't get in trouble. Who would say that after 2 children are missing? Remember what Lindsay Jones said? When she said that Daniel was more concerned about his relationship with Malehy'a than seemed to be about the kids. And that was the interview, like, within, a couple days after the disappearance? Hi, Cindy Lee. I switched gears after her interview. I think Malehy'a is primarily responsible, and DM covered for her. You know what? You might be absolutely right. Right? Like, I'll be curious at any point to what I would love to know. I know you can't really know, but I would really love to know, in all the stuff that Daniel Martell has said, where the truth actually lies with this case and where it was given deception or covering up. Because that's a very strong possibility. We don't know the answers, but we do know that what we're seeing is not right. Now, okay, so I'm going to go back to this interview here. Enter. I'm going to play. So 23, 20. I'm going to play from this point. It's going to be at the 23:49 mark. And this is at the 20 minutes and 30 seconds. I'm just going to play from there.
They need to come home.
On Canada Day, you recently walked in a parade and there was a float for Jack and Lily, and you had some of their items that you made for them, keychains with their pictures on them, handing them out to the crowd. What was that like for you?
It was very emotional, and I just kept walking forward and kept my head straight, because I was doing it for them, to bring awareness to them, to keep their faces out there and bring them back home. It was a very large crowd, and that's not something I would normally do, but I did it for them.
I want to upchuck right about there. I stopped it a little early, you guys. I'm sitting here and I'm just like going, ah, crap, I forgot to thank Dodie and Share Cares for their bejeweling. Thank you, guys. Just happened to see those. So I got to get that in there. But so I'm sitting there looking at those going, oh, I need to say thank you. And then I hear her say that. And I was just like, upchuck. Let me just, 1 second, Malaya. What, we're at 21, is that 21:30? Yeah. Let's just, 1 sec, Malaya. There you go.
To keep their faces out there and bring them back home.
Hold on. Let me just go a little bit before that. Just
kept walking forward and kept my head straight.
held high, Malaya. Held high. Chin up. Elbows up.
Because I was doing it for them, to bring awareness to them. To keep their faces out there and bring them back home. It was a very large crowd, and that's not something I would normally do. But I did it for them.
That was a big step.
That was a big step for you, Malaya. 15 months later, you did it for them. Belinda, Malaya knows what's done is done, in my opinion. Oh, no. I got you. I got your typo. 100%. Belinda, for God's sakes, please don't not have more children. My heart is broken every day. I think about these babies. You know, that's the end all to be all. Bernice, right? Is that we all, most of us, are looking at this as if these were our grandbabies, our babies. And we couldn't even imagine something like this happening to us. But 15 months later, she doesn't normally do stuff like this. 15 months later. But she felt like she just had to. For the sake of Jack and Lily. 15 months later. What an honor it is to be in your presence, Malaya. From mother to mother. Right? That's where we get angry. Because we look at this as if we're in her shoes and what we would be doing. And then we're watching what is transpiring in front of our faces over 2 children missing, named Jack and Lily Sullivan, who deserve so much more than, in my opinion, this BS, this crap, this facade. Not at one tear fell down her face in any, even though that interview is going to be edited. No, they welled up. They welled up, though. The reason why they welled up, I'll tell you. They welled up because she's thinking about, to me, the truth of what happened to Jack and Lily. But the reason why the tear didn't come is because as fast as she thinks about it, she also has to block it from her memory. So it's like you feel this pain in her eyes. But I feel like the pain is about, the eyes welling up is about because of the truth of what truly happened. But the actual tear doesn't come down. Because I know that when somebody thinks about something, especially if you had anything or knowledge of what happened to Jack and Lily, right? You're going to try to block it if you know that you were covering up or part of it and stuff like that. Anyway, let me just play this on a little bit more.
Step after remaining, quiet and not in the public for a long time. What was the reception like from the crowd?
I'm at the point now where I can't worry about what people think of me, because people who are close and know me know that
because people that are close and know me, yeah, I'm sure most of them are faking to your face how they truly see you as a mother of 2 missing children. And I think, you guys, regardless if you don't feel this way or not, I feel like Angelina, Christine, that they truly, truly, truly want answers for Jack and Lily. And I still feel like, sorry, I said Christine, Cheryl Christine. I believe that Cheryl Christine, even though she's a little pit bull at times for sure, that she truly wants the answers for Jack and Lily. And even if she's not agreeing, say, with Malehya'S, maybe in her own brain and what she's doing and stuff like that. Again, right? Keep your friends close and your enemies closer. You know, or along the way, people came to say, hey, you know, is this the mother? Are these the actions of a mother that's truly missing her kids? You know? I think if I was to pick, I think Angeline, I think her name is. I think she perhaps actually believes in Malaya. I take her as more of the more willing to believe, and the person that's, I would say, I hate to use that word, but more naive. Whereas I think that, say, Cheryl Christine is definitely not a dumbass. And I think that she actually is very smart and wise to Malehya'S, to when you know when something's off. And there's people that want to say buy in her shit and believe in her. But I think that kind of like Daniel thinking that his uncles really love him and care about him. Sorry, Daniel. Your uncles had a lot of crap to say about you, didn't they? Especially Wayne. I can only imagine if the other part wasn't, say, stopped or whatever. I'm sure there was more to it. What's the other one? Was it Elvin? You know? You're trying to portray to us like, you know, that your family's really kind of like, you know, like your great uncles and stuff like that. Look what they thought. Look what they think of you. Not highly at all. I'm sure there's a lot of those people on Malehya'S side, but it's okay, Malehya'S. Again, you can convince yourself, you know, and you don't have to care what people think, because we're allowed to think whatever we want to think, and you can think whatever you want about yourself. You can think you're the greatest mother on this planet, but you're not. To us, anyway. It's just so pukable, this interview.
I would never do anything to my children, and that I love them very much.
And I understand you've also been taking part in other searches for other missing people, one just recently as well, here in Nova Scotia. Why do you do that?
Because I feel very helpless right now.
That's a lie right there. Because Breakfast Boy, he was waiting for you all day. All day. For you to call him. But nope. Wasn't good enough. So while he was waiting for you all day to call him while you were on the search for another child, here he was. So what do you mean you don't know what to do yourself? I could jump on that bed right now and think of tons of things you could do with yourself, to be honest with you. Or should you be super focused on Jack and Lily, your priorities? But you know what? No, you know what? I'm going to show the world. I'm going to put on my freaking Superwoman freaking outfit on, and I'm going to show the world that, look, I do care. I do care about other children. Just not Jack and Lily as much. But I'm gonna, it's a pretense. Like, to me, it's like, fuck off with this. Oh, I'm going to go to school to become, did it. Uh, fuck off. Jack and Lily are missing. And you're sitting there going, but it has nothing to do with the drugs or any addictions that I personally have. I mean, I'm just doing it because it's always something I wanted to do. Yeah. You should be a life coach on that crap, Malaya. Can't do shit unless you love yourself first. But at the end of the day, like I said, you put your shit behind, right? Look at Belinda. Every day, she has a huge hole in her heart. It's been almost 16 months. Every day, she's online, watching most lives when she can, taking care of her granddaughter. The exhaustion that Belinda must feel. Hey, Belinda, you got time? I feel like Belinda, you can kind of crack this one in 6 months, Belinda. I feel like you can top the number of men that she's been with in 6 months. Or is Belinda online every day, pushing and doing so many things, vigils, right? Support, all the different things with the, bracelets and keychains and all the things that she's been in since the start. You want to talk about what it should look like, Malaya Brooks Murray? That's what it should look like. So anytime anyone wants to shit on Belinda at all, well, you might as well just come shit on me. Because I'll step up for Belinda every step of the way, because that's no different than Seth Rogers. Someone where you truly know that they're doing it for the sake of the children, not for themselves, because they want answers. But Malaya sits here in a small time frame of a window since Jack and Lily have disappeared, manages to be in multiple relationships, and you just don't know what to do with yourself. Do you, Malaya? Well, that's just a joke. Don't even compare yourself to Belinda and what she's been doing to find answers for her grandchildren. I can only imagine Belinda's anger and rage when she watches stuff like this. Who Malaya was, and then what everything turned out to be like. Sad. Keep in mind, this is... Well, of course it can be denied, but, I mean, there's pictures of her standing beside Breakfast Boy in the search type of stuff. It can be denied all at once, The thing is that when... Just like when a woman's scorned, when a man's scorned, okay, and they're pissed off because they really cared about you and you took their love and you threw it to the fucking trash, even though, okay, you guys, beyond the scope of the case. Okay? And you don't think that they're going to not start talking? Look what Taylor did. Look what Taylor did with Daniel, and look at all that information and Daniel's own words that came out about his other 2 kids, saying that basically abused Jack and Lily, hit Jack and Lily, whatever it was exactly. All Daniel's own words. But look what happened with Taylor, right? Even if say Taylor's backtracking now. So same shit, Malaya. You got your people that might not say anything, and then you got the ones that are going to talk. Why? Because you broke their fucking heart and you didn't care how it felt to them. It was just like, oh, well, thanks for doing all this for me. Thanks for caring for me. Fuck off. You're too good for me. I need worse. She does say that the MCU isn't giving her many updates anymore. Right, she did say that. Oh, I still got to play where she says traumatic. One sec. We'll come back.
Without having answers or knowing what's the next step to do. And so helping others is
Tell the truth is the
basically
next
all I
step.
feel I can do.
And I know that you've said you do your best to drown out the noise and not pay attention to it, but we know there's been a lot of public skepticism and criticism. What's that been like for you to deal with on top of everything else?
I don't like the negative attention and the made up stories that are taking from the case, because no one has answers. So it seems like they're making up answers for clicks and views, which is so disheartening because these are my babies.
Oh my God, it's so disheartening because these are your babies and people are just doing it all for clicks and views. You know, screw the people that are literally sitting there being voices for Jack and Lily. Bad Sonny. Bad, bad Sonny. Yeah, do I want clicks and views? Absolutely. To keep the awareness out there for Jack and Lily. I heard Charmaine mention something. I share my stream, my live stream to Twitter and to my It's a Crime and Shame. Why do I do that? I do it for clicks and views. Did I say I'm doing it for revenue? I'm doing it for clicks and views because we want people to know more, far and wide as we can, to share it. So absolutely. Now, I actually suck at doing what I should be doing to promote my channel. I could be hella high up in subscribers if I wasn't working a full-time job. And honestly, technology, it's exhausting. I do it all day at work. And then sit there and have to deal with a TikToky and a freaking Instagram and shit like that. You know, side by side streaming on the thing and stuff like that. No, could I do better? Yeah. Too lazy to do all that, to be honest with you. Because I feel like I do a lot. And I don't have to do nothing for at the end of the day. Right? Don't have to do YouTube. Don't have to do anything. But I choose to. I choose to do at least a part in trying to assist. Give family members like Belinda, you know, homes to come to. When they feel like that there's nothing really else there out there from the news outlets and stuff like that. But hey, so yeah, so you're right. Clip this one. Right? Clip this one. Yes, I do it for clicks and views. Absolutely, for the murdered and the missing. Not going to clip out that part though, but you'll clip out the part that says clicks and views. Right? Won't have the context behind it. Simone, she definitely has that everyone and everything is replaceable, and that's indicative of people that don't have to work for anything in their whole damn lives. Say it, Simone. Root strength. She apparently was traumatized after birth of those two children and had another man shortly after. Absolutely. Just traumatized. Malaya is a relationship hopper. She doesn't know what else to do. Why? Again, she doesn't know how to fix herself. Maybe she thinks she does, but obviously she's repeating her patterns. And this is just another, another step in the wrong direction for Malaya. You know, so again, it's Jack and Lily. Jack and Lily should be your focus, and Meadow. Those should be her primary things that she should care about the most. And yet, it seems more that it's relationships that mean the most. And she can sit there, she can swear at me all she wants and say, Sonny, you fucking bitch, I hate you. Fucking no. You should hate yourself for the fact that Jack and Lily are missing because of you. So we demand answers. We demand that you should be fighting for justice for Jack and Lily. But no, thank you, Malaya, because you feel it's 15 months after the time to do a parade and come on out there and show up for searches now because the timing is right for you. It wasn't right for Jack and Lily for you to be their voice, but the timing is right for you. Anyone that even remotely cares about children knows how on every level that what we've been seeing is everything that goes against the grain of what we would call loving your children, caring about your children, not getting out of bed to take care of your children. You can call them in sick. You can take them into town. You can not check on them because that's how much. And you can sit there and tell your sister, Haley, obviously, about Daniel and his drugs and how that he's been doing them since Meadow was born. Crock of shit right there. But you can say that to your sister. But you're taking care of business, aren't you, for Jack and Lily? And if this is just trauma response, poor decision making, and different tomorrows are empathy, do we really believe this just came from this situation? Right. Or has it always been there? It's always been there. But then it's always been there, and then you got cash cow Patty there that is enabling, right, to these children. Well, when I say these children, I'm talking about Malehy'a and Hayden, right? Because they know where their bankroll is coming from, right? When you fuck with the government there, Malehy'a and Daniel, and you don't want to claim your living together common law, and then you get fucked over by the government months before Jack and Lily's disappearance. Who did it? Who did it to themselves yet again? But yet, all these supporters that care so much, all these side people that aren't even family, say, all these side supporters, poor Malehy'a. Poor Malehy'a and the trauma she's going through from Jack and Lily missing. Poor Malehy'a could have fixed this a long time ago. Poor Malehy'a, I did. Right? When I left my first abusive relationship of 11 years, right? 15 to 26. I said, no one's ever going to treat me like that again. And I did the right thing. And I was not going to pick somebody that was ever going to put their hands on me again. Now, in the second relationship, a little bit towards the end. But it was like, you ain't talking to me like this. You ain't treating me like this because of your own fucked up issues in your head. Right? My husband of 11 years, Steve Austin, he's never laid a hand on me. I mean, there's a couple times where we may have given each other a small shove, and I mean small shove. But we don't have that type of relationship. We don't have someone that feels the need to control each other, but instead love and support each other. Yeah, we're not perfect, but you know what? I can only be thankful that it's one of the best, is the best relationship I've ever been in. But it took me a lot of time to grow. But the thing is that Malehy'a keeps making these choices after choices and not changing her ways. So I don't know if there's nothing left up there, when it comes to obviously Daniel and hers relationship. Okay. Probably worse than the first relationship, to be honest, with Cody. So it's almost like she just keeps downgrading. And then when there's an upgrade, nope, can't do that. A good guy for me is they're not worthy. I need the guys that tell me what to do, boss me around and stuff like that, and hold me up against a wall and hold me down when I'm trying to call my mommy. So all these friends, like I said, I don't have to give a shit about Malehya'S feelings because I'm just a creator covering a story of Jack and Lily. If I literally felt that there was any sort of showing of remorse, authenticity, genuineness, absolutely. I'd be behind both Daniel and Malehy'a, and just as a creator. Absolutely. Supporting the mother and father for finding answers. I have not felt that in this case since it happened. Me and Charmaine at the start, when we were giving Daniel the benefit of the doubt and stuff like that, right? But then I mean, all he did was talk smack about Malaya and what a shitty person uh, she was, you know. And it's not this poor Malaya thing, you know. Malaya to me is just a big POS, just as much as I feel like Daniel is in that when it comes to the relationship. They don't know how to have relationships because they're too fucked up. They're too insecure. They got too many freaking mental health issues going on. And when you have two fucked up people, it's toxic. I understand someone looking for comfort and companionship, but that's not in a healthy way to cope. And therapy is one, was being honest, would address this. And therapy, yeah, absolutely. You know, the thing is that the first relationship was what, within a month of of Jack and Lily missing, month and a half tops. Can't remember exactly. Yeah, well, Daniel claimed he didn't have anger management, but yet he said he was taking anger management and shit like that. You know, you got Malaya here trying to be an addiction counselor, and Daniel there trying to take courses online for investigations and, how things work and da 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 da. Great. That would be awesome, to be honest with you. If we felt that we weren't being bullshitted throughout this entirety of the case by these timelines that don't make sense, by these actions that don't make sense, by these words that don't make sense, the lack of tears that don't make sense. Codependency. Malaya is very codependent. She needs a man, unfortunately for Malaya. Like, she's that person that needs a man. She needs someone to take care of her. But, I mean, you can see she's obviously bouncy, bouncy, bouncy. My speculation about finding out what happened to Jack and Lily, that would be comfort I would need. Hugs, beautiful, love you. Therapy only works if you know and believe you need help. Well, I don't believe I need help, Chelsea, myself. So I guess it's not going to work. I guess I don't need therapy. If I need therapy, I'll talk to myself. I'll fix myself, because that's how my brain works. Is that I don't need counselors myself. I don't need that shit. Maybe I should sometimes. But honestly, I always think of my mom's fighting brain that said, pick your frickin' panties up, quit whining and sniveling, and get back at her type of idea. Like I said, I felt sorry for myself once, led me into a depression for years. Worst thing I ever did was one time truly feeling sorry for myself. I've done it a couple times, and then I kick my ass back out every time I look at my mom's pictures and stuff like that. But for me, I'm all about using my brain. But not everyone's capable of doing that or strong enough. For me personally, everything in my life, if I didn't like it, I would do the opposite. My mom, she was not a hugger, right? She never made you feel warm and fuzzy like that, but you knew she loved you. But she just wasn't that mom. But her mom wasn't that way either. So it just transcends down, right? But I said, no. When I had my son, when I have a child, I'm going to give them everything I can, love-wise. And that's what I did. If I didn't like what I didn't receive, like, for instance, my mom could never go to our school because she was, working. So she could never come to our school plays and stuff, But I was with my ex, and we were always going to any event Matthew had because it was a priority to me, because I knew how it felt when I was at school doing sports and whatever, and my mom could never be there to watch. And you're watching all these other parents coming for their children, and you kind of feel sad and stuff like that. So I'm the person, and that's my husband. He's the same way. And then there's so many things about why we're the same, but he's the same way, right? If you want to learn something, go pull up a YouTube video. Go learn how to do it. If it's truly something you're invested in, And he's the same way with work ethic. Just everything. If you don't like something, you change it. But Malaya, she's just going down the same path, the same path, the same path, the same path, the same path. So like I said, you know, this whole boohoo trauma sorrow stuff for me, don't care. Jack and Lily is what matter here to us. It's not about the courses you're taking or not taking. It's not even about your health issues for the most part, for most of us. It's about Jack and Lily. But I know I'm way behind. I gotta frickin' scroll, man. Well, hold on. I'm just gonna play. Did we even get to the part yet? Nope. Didn't even get there yet. The trauma. The third trauma.
And these people are taking away from the case and causing distractions. And I don't know whether it's purposely or unintentionally, but it's not okay. These are my babies and they need to come home.
And how are you doing now compared to even a year ago?
The trauma is still the same. I can't sleep without my medication, so it's extremely hard.
I think, is that where I made fun of it the first time? Was when she said that, and that's when I said, I think you misspoke there, Malaya. It's without the men. Now, we're going to come back to that in a second. No. Joyous, joyous. Oh, how glorious, joyous, joyous is. Share screen. I seen it. I just happened to refresh. And I think Belinda, correct me if I'm wrong, but did you see this as well? Joyous is on a streak here. 696, 687, 691, 692. Now, I don't know if Joyous is intentionally hurting our brains with these different numbers, you know, on this, but $8,273 raised. Crazy Joyous. Absolutely crazy. So, Joyous, I'm just going to make you a deal here, since you're probably not going to adopt me anyway. Just top her up, Joyous. 25,000. Done. Just done. All right. What do we got? What's that? 25, 9, so 10, 15, 16, 17, 1,700 or 17,000, whatever, 700 and what, 30 or $27. Woo, did I do some math there? Hold on, I gotta scroll down to the bottom. I gotta scroll right down to the bottom now. Okay, hold on. Oh, share cares, floating heart, 10 joules. Found that on my way. I can't argue without spilling the source, and I don't want to do that, baby monkey. But fair. Shoot, I missed what you said there, Charmaine. You'll have to fill me in. Baby, I believe... Wait, no, still not down to the bottom. Holy shit. Joyous. Where is she? Okay. Sorry, guys, but sometimes there's like little showstoppers. And this is crazy. Besides QWERTY. Remember QWERTY, Charmaine? Besides QWERTY, who would come into separate lives, and QWERTY would drop like $500 super chats, $300 super chats, constant $500 super chats, especially in this one guy's channel. But he would come into ours. His name was QWERTY. Didn't know if he was a guy or a girl. I always assumed he was a guy. Could have been a girl. This is what Joyce is reminding me of right now. She's in all the super chats, always supporting with stickers. She doesn't have to. She's doing it, obviously, maybe because I guess she has the ability to. And I think she said that the other day it's her way of, just trying to help out and stuff like that. Well, shh. I was going to get there after Belinda got hers. All right? Ixnay. Yeah. Clicks and views and revenue, I guess that's what it was. But anyway, so hold on. Yeah, sure do, Cordy. Absolutely. So this is absolutely just one of those little stoppers where you're just like, holy shit, Joyous. So I'm just going to save you some time, Joyous. 17,000, $728, I think it is. Everybody else can just stop right now. See, that's what she said again. It's the only way I can support Belinda. Well, you know what? Thank you. And like I said, I don't know how deep your bank account runs, man, but it must run pretty deep. And to be able to assist Belinda like this. And she knows it, obviously. And she'll have to step up on another live with me to thank all you guys again, Because I do like to show whenever there's movement for the fundraiser, the GoFundMe for Belinda. And it's just because I love Belinda and I want to assist her. And the only way that I can do that is by putting it up here, sharing the GoFundMe. And then if people can help out, they can. So I'll just speak for Belinda. I know that she's in chat, but you got to know how grateful she is for all your guys' love and support. Crazy, though. It's just crazy. You're going to have to come out of the 600s. And I'm not talking about going down. No, I'm just kidding. I hope you know I'm kidding. But anyways, thank you for all the love and support for Belinda and her daughter, Chelsea. Don't give a shit about it. Trust me. I know. Absolutely. Hi, Robin. I seen Mariska giving you grief, Charmaine, a little bit in your chat. Didn't I tell her to kiss my ass at some point? Just kind of like this mouthy thing. Everyone helps in whatever way they can. Warms my... Right. Charmaine couldn't have said it better for herself. See, it warms my warm heart. For Charmaine, it warms her frozen heart. Ice Queen over there. On there. But anyways, so much love and appreciation for that. Okay, I'm just gonna so 8,200. Hit and refresh. Still gonna hit that share. Copy link. I'll drop it again. Okay. Now this isn't meant for you this time, Joyous. All right. You can take a break for the night. But there's a GoFundMe link there. Okay. Oh. Stop screen. Stop screen. Well, to be honest, this is really what I wanted to talk about was about this part of it. 1 second. Share screen. And so... Do I gotta put on my... 1 second here. Oh, absolutely. Belinda. I've heard Belinda talk to me in a voice message many times. And the tears and from the love of the people and stuff like that. It's one of those things when you're never expected to be put in a situation. And then you are, And as Belinda said before, she didn't have the money to try to sit there and, take Daniel or Jack and Lily and stuff like that. Like people are trying to say, like, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? And she wouldn't have been able to do all this. But thanks to someone like Daleen that offered her services. Now I want to say this, is that Daleen has done things that maybe I necessarily wouldn't have done for sure and stuff like that. And I'm not talking about it as a lawyer. Well, maybe a little bit, perhaps. But meaning We all don't have to. It's not my right to tell Daleen how to run what she does, right? I might not like some of the stuff, or maybe some of the theories that she's had, but I know a kind heart when I see one. And the people that have been here supporting Belinda, you know, that truly have, and there's a lot of you guys that have just true beautiful hearts. And again, we don't all have to agree, but if there's one thing that's beautiful is when people that don't have to do anything, right, share cares, right, Daleen? But they stepped up to the plate to assist in any way that they could assist Belinda. And that's beautiful. And that's a lot of unselfishness right there. Now, I didn't want to get caught up in any of that drama shit that was going on. Didn't care about it. What I care about is Jack and Lily and fighting for justice and the people that are in support of being here for Jack and Lily first and foremost, and being here for Belinda, and all the people that have come to basically group hug her with all the different ways that you've supported her. That's beautiful. So anyways, appreciation to everyone, whether it's a click of the like on the live, a share of the live, a donation to the GoFundMe, for me, a donation, if there's a donation or jewels or and all these bejeweled things now, appreciate. It's not expected, but it's very much appreciated that people, that do come here to this channel, that they go, I like watching Sunny, or that bitch pisses me off, but I'm going to watch her anyway. It does mean a lot. Because when you're here for the right purposes, you don't have really to explain yourself, or I don't really feel like I do. Sometimes I will. Sometimes it depends. But at the most part, I just don't care about that stuff. We're here for the purpose of the murdered and the missing. And in this case, Jack and Lily. And it's truly a pleasure meeting so many kind people throughout the years that I've been covering the cases of different ones. But here, I never had a Canadian audience, really, right? Up until this case. Me and Charmaine and that, and my ex-friend Adam, we were always covering the cases in the United States and, the UK and stuff like that. Because, honestly, the system is so different in the United States, where you could have the 911 calls, you can have so much of the paperwork, unlike Canada. And Canada, to have a case like this, in a sense, besides the SKs and stuff, it's rare. So it's because of this case, I got a bunch of followers from Canada, which is obviously where I was born, So it does mean a lot. I never thought about it before, because it was just covering cases that came up, and most of them were out of the States, But now that I've been covering this case, it really does make me want to, cover more of Canadian things, for sure. I don't want to just say cases, but Canadian stuff. Staying proud to who we are as a Canadian, right? Having the Canadian banner up there instead of my blue one, for instance, which I need to revamp. I need to take that troll's face off my dang freaking overlay. Right, Shimmy? Anyways. It's extreme emotion from Jack and Lily to so many beautiful souls out there. Mm-hmm. Everyone truly feels like Jack and Lily is all of ours. We're all there to fight for the answers for Jack and Lily, as if they were our own. And most of us feel like Jack and Lily. Like, we just look at their faces, and it's almost like you're instantly already know that we're part of their family. And doing more than what definitely some of their own family members are doing. We just want the truth. Yep, just want the truth. We just want the truth. People keep saying we're not allowed to have opinions. I say, well, of course we are. It's our right to have opinions. We're allowed, right? But that's what they have to be, is they have to be opinions. They can't be stuff like, I know that Malaya did this to Jack and Danielle. It has to be an opinion, right? Because we don't know. We don't know. We think we know. But up until any arrests happen, we don't know. So that's why it always has to be talking in opinions or theories and stuff. And do we have a right to do that? Right. Remember, I told you. Because of these two people, Daniel and Malaya, that is why we sit here today. That is why Belinda's heart is broken beyond repair of her two grandbabies that she probably will never see again, and she knows it. She's not delusional. Most of us aren't delusional at this point. And a lot of people have, come away from, the whole Malaya hid the children theory and stuff like that. Because they're, as time goes on, they're seeing spades for spades about actions, lack of actions. Sometimes addressing the drama has a greater purpose, like sticking up for innocent friend or an innocent citizen who you just want to help, or standing up for Belinda. Yep, I agree. Sometimes it has its place. I don't get into certain things too much, and other times I do. Tonight, right here, it wasn't like, oh my God, get to talk about Malaya and all the, all the different boyfriends and stuff that she's having along. It's about the point of it. It's about what mother focuses so much on relationships, instead of Jack and Lily. So Malaya's making her own bed for how the perception is that way. But I look at it like it's just another notch in the many notches of this whole case. And of course, investigators would be looking at it, meaning as a piece of actions, right? Just because Malaya say, dip them with some different boys and stuff like that, or men along the way of answers for Jack and Lily, does it still make it mean that it has something to do with Jack and Lily? Or is it just that Malaya simply, before Jack and Lily went missing, has just led a life of turmoil and, obviously led her down a lot of bad paths along the way. So police would be looking at it in different layers, because obviously it raises a red flag because it's adding to certain things. Maybe for us and not RCMP, for all we know, but for us, it definitely is something that you look at going, okay, on top of all this, and then all these relationships during the time, does that not seem odd, strange, right? Maybe for Malaya it's not. For us, it absolutely is, because when you're wearing your rose-colored glasses too close to the case, Malaya, you don't see what the outsiders see. If you don't stand up for something, you will fall for anything. Write that down. Write that down. Charmaine said it from somebody who obviously said it before. Write that down. Mm-hmm. There was something I was watching the other day, yesterday as a matter of fact, and I'll have to think exactly what was said, but it was a nice little crack like that. It was something like the only thing a pig does is snort, or something like that. And he was referencing a person, right? Meaning, like, let's just use that one with Daniel. Daniel, the only thing a pig does is snort. It wasn't referring to a cop. It was just about people that are just bullshit and stuff like that. He probably said it better than what I just said it, but it was something like that. Mugshot. Okay, hold on. Okay, wait. I'm just going to play a little bit more of this because I need a drink of water and I need to vape my face
Your
off
life
for a couple
completely
minutes.
changed that day.
Yeah. No parent should ever have to go through what I'm going through, and I would never wish it upon anyone. It's unbearable, and I don't think I'd be able to get through it without the support that I have in my family.
Tell me what they've been doing for you. Really, how they've come through for you.
We help each other, and we always stand by each other no matter what and keep each other busy.
When you say that you wouldn't wish this upon anyone, and we know that I've read the comments myself online, mothers who are judging you as a mother, what do you say to those people?
Hug your children tight, because this could happen to anyone, and you just can't point fingers. I feel they don't understand the situation entirely, so they just go off what's being put out there. And I guess they could say all the cruel things that they want. At the end of the day, I know that I'm a good mom and I love my children very, very much. And I'd give anything to just hold them right now.
Malaya, what would you like the public to know? If there was anything you could say.
Don't worry, Malaya. I got your back. If there's anybody out there that has Jack and Lily, will you please return them immediately? Please drop them off at Janie's trailer, in the dark, so you don't have to be seen. But if you could just do that for us, that would be amazing. Again, Malaya never said anything about begging these people that supposedly have the children to give them back. Most people would say something like that, right? For anyone who has Jack and Lily, I love my kids so much. Please, if anyone has any information, that's typically what somebody would want to say. Daniel got really good at saying that, to be honest with you, once prompted. But he learned how to do it, little bits by little bits. Malaya had every opportunity in this interview when she was asked this question. But let's listen to Malaya, of course.
I want them to continue keeping my children's faces out there, keep reposting, just help scream their names to help bring them home. That I believe that they're out there somewhere and they will be returned home.
Well, that's probably a true statement from Malaya at the end there. I don't think that these two children are going to be brought home alive. But, maybe that's why Malaya said it that way. Who knows? But, you guys do your job, okay? You guys make sure that you leeches of clicks and reviews, the people that cover this case, make sure that you guys do your job and be a voice for Jack and Lily. And you do it more than what she's doing. And if you're not doing more than what she's doing, you better start. That's all I got to say about that. Okay? But at any point there where she said, because we all know that she was going to mean about, I just want them to be brought back home. I know that they're out there somewhere. Did you say that to the camera? Did you ask the people that have your children, supposedly? No. No, you did not. Now, why would you do that? Now, I'm no psychologist, and I can hardly wait till Alexa can join me. But, my AI is my psychologist pretty much on this one. Right? But again, we all know that this isn't the actions that we would be begging the person on the screen. If you thought your children were out there and somebody had them, that's what you would want to talk about. That's what you would want to beg for. One second. I'm just going to play those last little words again. Just 1 second.
Continue keeping my children's faces out there, keep reposting, just help scream their names to help bring them home. That I believe that they're out there somewhere and they will be returned home.
Oh.
I have dreams about them.
Dreams?
Coming home.
You guys think it's dreams, or do you think more what Shal said about the nightmares? Do you think it's dreams, or do you think it's nightmares? It really truly is hard for me personally, based on how I feel about this case. Um, just to listen to what I feel is just words coming out, but not the truth. Nightmares. Daniel the dummy. Bet you Daniel's having nightmares. His court's coming up soon. Week's time. Daniel. I think MB and her mother are in on what happened to the kids. See, I don't think her mother is at all. They thought that they could get away with a perfect crime. I mean, we don't know the truth, right? We know certain things, but we don't know the truth. Nightmares, need pills to sleep. That's what went through my head. And all I can say, and nobody, at least I don't have to work till 12 tomorrow. But only 2 hours. Oh my God. Good night, guys. Gonna leave you now. I feel like I've done. It was funny when someone at work, he was like he was so impressed that I had a YouTube channel and type of thing. And I was just like, well, I try to do them, you know, between when I'm, can, depending on my shifts, of course, and so all that stuff. But, which, anyways, it was kind of funny. I was just like, do you want my autograph? Before I'm famous. But anyways, I can't remember what I was going to say at that point, to be honest with you. Nightmares. Oh, Daniel's court case. That's right. The thing is that both Daniel and Malaya, regardless, they know the truth. They know the truth of their relationship. They know the truth. I'm sure they've had much time to reflect on their relationship, and where they could have gone right or wrong, and perhaps what happened to Jack and Lily, out there. I hope they're you know what? For the fact that two adults were laying in bed, that Lily was supposedly sick, and that she had a cough and they went into town and they were laying in bed and then claimed they disappeared. They went off into the woods with that pink blanket. Boot print. They know in their hearts the truth regardless. And they are the ones that will forever have to live with their choices of the relationship, or if they have any knowledge of Jack and Lily. That makes me feel good. That makes me feel good. Because I don't have no sympathy, and I'm just talking in general, for people that take the lives of others for reasons that are not self-defense, in a sense. That selfishness, money, drugs, how many times have we listened to people, kids especially, being put into suitcases, sometimes altogether and sometimes not. And you just think to yourself, how could anyone do anything like that? I thought the boyfriend cheated on Malaya. No, see, legal. Other way around. I mean, this is according to the breakfast guy, right? That's what happens. Like I said, you play with fire and you get burnt. It's like a woman scorn. When a woman's scorn, hell hath no fury. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorn. Well, breakfast man obviously was feeling very scorned. Like he didn't matter. Now, of course, he put himself in that situation because he shouldn't have been in it in the first place. But, those are his words. So, like I said, the truth usually comes out when you fuck people over. Daniel, Mr. Clown, Mr. Clown, he's the clown. Do 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 do. Agree, Astro. Now, what is it? Okay, let me just hold on. I'm gonna go to read something. Not ready to leave you guys quite yet. My freaking. I need to find my glass tightener. You know, Cheryl, need to get some more glasses off Timu. Actually, no, I got enough, but I just like to have a lot, right? 19.99 for 5 pairs of readers, and they're kind of foggy, but the nice little colors. All right, so actually they're fucking dirty, is what they are. What time is it? I didn't even see how many people were watching. It's 169 at the moment. Not sure what the high was for that, but thank you guys all for being here. If you haven't hit the like and share for Jack and Lily, please do. Hold on. Refresher. Okay. Oh, you guys are just gonna have to talk amongst yourselves. Do 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 do. All right, I got the goods on. There we go. Let's see if I can read a little bit better. Okay. So, hold on. Why is this thing doing this? Gotta go back, gotta go back. No. Come on. One sec. Okay. Need to go. Charmaine, better stay for this one because it's my AI. Okay? And this is just what I put. I just like to be fair to what I put. Malaya had multiple boyfriends since Jack and Lily disappeared. These two clips, the clips of Breakfast Man, boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, what are from her ex-boyfriend recently. What are your thoughts of a mother with two missing children, kids, acting in this manner and saying how traumatized she is? Um, and it said, okay, so it says this: how the public and media perceive this behavior. In high profile missing children cases, public perception is heavily influenced by expectations of how a grieving or searching parent should act. Inconsistent, her stated narrative. It says, in a recent CBC interview, Malaya emphasized on her ongoing trauma, stating that she has followed the police guidance and remains focused on finding answers. Boingy boingy. Unfiltered allegations from an ex-partner suggesting she is actively dating, partying, or being deceitful create a sharp narrative contrast that heightens public skepticism. Erosion of public sympathy. For community members and online observers following this case, claims that a parent is prioritizing personal relationships or social life while two young children remain missing severely damages public credibility and fuels criticism regarding her focus and her priorities. Character evaluation. Critics often view these screenshots, they weren't screenshot, well, same thing, as evidence of manipulative behavior or emotional detachment. However, observers supportive of her, right? Observers supportive of her point out that unverified messages, verified, from ex-partners in contentious breakups can be exaggerated, vengeful, or taken out of context. Well, we know that that definitely can happen. I don't think that this was going overboard of vengeful. I think that a man's hopes and love and dreams were stomped on, crushed his heart, and Malaya didn't care because she was off cheating on him anyway. So obviously that's love right there. Absolutely, helicopter grandma. Now, while social media clips and statements from ex-partners fuel intense public backlash and undermine her public image following the CBC interview, the RCMP evaluates such material objectively, separating interpersonal conflict and public opinion from verifiable facts relevant to locating Jack and Lily. Um, I said, is it relevant to the case to the RCMP if the actions are odd behaviors and don't show what you would expect a mother of two missing children? And it says, so for RCMP, um, it says in law enforcement investigations, including those conducted by RCMP, how a parent and primary caregiver behaves after children go missing is highly relevant, though it is treated as a piece of context rather than direct proof. When evaluating behavior, police rely heavy on behavior analysis and criminal psychology principles to guide their approach. So, behavioral baseline and sudden deviations. Investigators' teams look closely at whether a person's behavior represents a stark departure from their normal baseline or from established patterns of human reflection during an acute crisis. Assessing risk and context. When a missing person report is filed, police complete a risk assessment that incorporates family context, history, and recent behaviors to determine the investigative priorities. Inconsistencies as red flags. If someone displays detachment, shifts their story, makes choices that seem counterintuitive to finding their children, or destroys evidence, such as deleting communication app. Malaya? Police view these actions as behavioral red flags that warrant deeper probing. While police take note of unusual demeanor, investigators are cautious to rely solely on behavioral expectations. No single normal response to trauma. People react to severe shock, grief, trauma, and extremely stress in wildly different ways. Some individuals cry uncontrollably, while others freeze, become emotionally flat, act defensively, or engage in erratic. I thought that was about to say exotic, erratic. You know what I was going to say. Compartmentalized. What is that? Compartmentalized. Wow. Looking at how long that word is, it's got to be at least half the alphabet. Coping behaviors. Admissibility in court. In a criminal court case, the prosecutor cannot convict someone. Well, we know that shit. How police use behavioral indicators. Informing polygraphs, interrogation, behavioral observations help specialized examiners craft specific questions designed to test whether a subject is concealing information or maintaining a fabricated narrative. Search rescue warrants. If unusual behavior is paired with verifiable actions such as inconsistencies in timelines, deleting phone records, or conflicting witness statements, police package these facts into affidavits in form to obtain, to convince a judge to grant search warrants for properties, digital devices, and or bank records. Prioritizing leads. Behavioral analysis helps major crime units decide where to direct limited resources. Determining, well, I think that Daniel and Malaya, because of you, that I think that you've used up all of Nova Scotia's fund money for the year for finding Jack and Lily. And if it ever comes today. But anyways, so for me, again, it's just all part and parcel of this case. Malaya was probably cheating on Daniel. Wouldn't shock me there. Is this something that we would expect? It's just all of it, isn't it? It's just all of it. Like everything. From the first interview to this interview to the actions in between to the lackluster what seems care for Jack and Lily. To sitting there saying that this isn't her normal thing to come out to the public, but hey, congratulations that you honored us with your presence to come out. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm willing to listen to anything that anyone says from the property for sure, first and foremost. But are these truly the actions, if you had two children missing, what you would be doing? Can I judge? Absolutely. You know, absolutely I can judge. I have a right to judge because it's my opinion, right? Like I said, Millie can give me a big fuck you. I don't care. Jack and Lily are missing, and it's because of you and Daniel. And wherever the truth lies, that will come out for Jack and Lily. Did I say Jack and Daniel? Jack and Lily, if I said that wrong. I'm just getting a little tired. I didn't get my true nap in, Charmaine, you know? So, again, that's kind of what this live was really about. Just about, just another action of Malehya'S, you know, and Heartbroken Breakfast Guy there. Her boyfriend's new name that starts with J, the one she cheated on Breakfast Guy with, according to Breakfast Guy, you know? Salute you, Malaya, for all that you are doing for Jack and Lily, and all the time that you don't know what to do with your time. You know, you got to do something. It's just ridiculous. Anyways, what did you hit, Belinda? That's it. Block, boot. Okay, I'm just gonna look at some comments now, and then that's gonna be it for me for tonight. Sunny. Oh, Sunny, the lawyer I am talking to charges around a $4.50 an hour. That depends on how long a trial lasts. Well, as well, I appreciate any help I can. Well, shit. I knew that they were expensive, but I didn't realize that they were like $4.50 now. That's crazy. Joyous? That's all I gotta say. No, I'm just kidding. Joyous. Isn't it sad? Isn't that actually sad that knowing that one donation covered 1.5 hours? It's crazy. But, I mean, so are dentists. Crazy amounts they get charged. Daleen, could you just move over to Nova Scotia? Go ahead. Go ahead, Daleen. But anyways, that's crazy. Almost missed that comment. Oh, remember that Malaya picked up Tylenol and diaper rash cream, right? Diaper rash cream for the face because baby was teething. Remember Daniel said that there was no Tylenol in the house? Makes a person... Well, Robin, there's a lot there. Daniel also said that there was no drugs in the house. Malaya did say that Daniel was up doing drugs when she woke up. And that Daniel was doing the drugs. But no, right? It's stuff like that. Like, it's comments like that. Now, this is before it ever came out. Like, although, you know, Haley spoke about it on Hidden in the Fogs, but there's certain things that Haley said that, you know, that obviously it's when she's talked to Malaya, you know? But it's stuff like that, like when she sent me messages. What throws me off is this: if you two are covering up, why are you talking smack about each other? You know, and that always threw me off with this case. That if two people are trying to hide something together, but yet they're talking smack about each other, more so Daniel's side at first, and then Malaya somewhat, right? Like when she sat there and said those things about Daniel holding her down and stuff like that, I'm like, there's part of me that's like, why are you telling me this? You know? And then you're like, where truly does Malaya fit into the scope of this, of Jack and Lily's disappearance? You know? But then, yeah, you just kind of keep getting tossed and torn in the brain. Belinda's lawyers are so expensive. Really? I think brain surgeons get quite a hunky. Hunky little fee there. I mean, you're saving somebody's brain. AKA breakfast burrito. Well, yeah, ex breakfast guy. Oh yeah, 7,500 a retainer for a 3-day trial. It's ridiculous. Yeah, Charmaine, she would know. I remember her and Ian had to go through that stuff with an ex. Makes me want to ask Daleen, if you were to have charged Belinda, what was your fee per hour? If if you were just charging a regular person, is your fee that freaking high? Is that what lawyers are getting paid? It's crazy. Family trials don't work that way. Daniel, Daniel, Daniel. Oh, Daniel. This could all end if even one of these people would tell the truth. I concur. Hi, Gypsy. Can you imagine MBM is your sister and these? She was my sister. She'd be hitting that grass pretty fast. If I even thought, like, if I even thought that my sister would have anything to do with it. Like, you know what I mean? Kids? Nah. You fuck with kids, you fuck with cats, you fuck with animals. No. Yeah. Thing is that Malaya and Haley, you know, remember they hadn't really talked for the most part, besides a few times in a couple years. Malaya pushed everyone away. And also Haley, you know, I think it was just more like, just, especially at the start, right? I just remember the conversations at the start with Haley where she didn't know what to think at all, right? Like, it was mostly just about, you know, like finding Jack and Lily and stuff like that. You know, it's just as time kind of went on, then it's just like, what the fuck? Your children are missing and this is how you're acting? Are you kidding me? Right? And then Haley, of course, thinks of her own child and is like, you know, fighting for, yeah, answers for Jack and Lily. Doesn't want to be part of a shit war within the family, obviously. But, I mean, I like her kahunas. I'm glad when she asked to do that live that she just was like, yeah, I said what I said, you know? So I've always felt Haley's authenticity, but not that she was telling me all the things that she could. She just, you know, over time, she just slowly, you know, it's like you could just feel her trusting in me more. Yeah, I let her down when those audio clips got released by, you know, Drunk Turkey Show Daniel, fucking asshole, there and stuff like that. It wasn't meant to at all, you know, but it happened. But I'm glad she didn't block me and stop talking to me because of it and stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, I always just felt that with Haley, just like Belinda, they just wanted the truth. Whatever that truth meant, they just wanted the truth. But Haley had a closer view of different things that were happening, you know, obviously, with Malaya and what she was doing and stuff like that. Well, you know, like I said, she just wanted the answers. I haven't talked to Haley in a few months, pretty much because I just left her alone, because she spoke, and maybe she'll ever speak up again, but who knows. But she spoke, and then it's kind of like then she gets attacked, which is, you know, doesn't feel nice really when the innocent people are being attacked. And then you get to a point where you're like, I've said what I've had to say, you know, I've said what I'm willing to say, type of thing. And then you just keep watching it play out, you know. I have a master of laws can fetch 100 or 1,000 an hour, but I don't do this for money. You know, you have to do jobs for passion. You know. Oh, which reminds me, now that I'm talking about passion. Anyways, Daleen, again, for all the love and support to Belinda and offering up your services. Again, just like the dog handler, with the canine, the cadaver dog, and stuff like that for Belinda. You know, bless your beautiful hearts. That's all I can say about anyone. You know, it's a beautiful thing when people are unselfish in life and they don't look for all this credit and all that stuff. But yet, because to me, that like honestly, if I was Joyce, I'd be probably blushing. If say Joyce was on doing the live and and I was the one donating like that, right? I'd be like blushing, because it's more you're doing things because you just simply care and you're not looking for the big kudos to go with it. You know, the kudos is answers for Jack and Lily and helping in any ways that, to assist, and for Belinda, there's just, nothing words can say for the overwhelming love. Yes, ma'am. I just went to AI. That must look. Go to United States. They probably charge more. Oh, sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Sorry, I'm so behind. Oh no, not so bad. What I was gonna say is, and it's probably gonna be in the latter part of September because we're gonna wind down here now. Thank you, helicopter, uh, grandma. Let's stay strong together. Be voices for Jack and Lily, absolutely. Probably in the latter part of September, um, I said on my a post that I would be do some paintings as I'm doing lives. Um, Painting is something that I don't feel like I'm great at, but I enjoy doing it. And I don't mind some of the work that I actually do. But do I feel like I'm this amazing artist? No, right? But can I paint in certain things that I do? Yeah, I don't do people. I can't. I could have if I probably put my, you know, if I actually gave myself the time. But I, I don't know. I always avoided it for some reason. But anyways, I like doing landscape and stuff like that the most. Kind of like the Bob Ross stuff. But anyways, it's not going to be on every live, but it's just that I'll need to set up another computer so that see me and then painting kind of like throughout the live. So I just figured, it's something that I love to do. When I never really had the space with Ryan being here, even though I did paintings in the bedroom, but I like to have some space, right? I used to go out into the kitchen and pull out the easel and canvas, and my husband would be on his computer and I'd just be painting away and stuff like that. But anyways, it's something I like to do. So I just figured why not incorporate sometimes painting, which I do love to do, which I find very relaxing, versus the dark world of true crime, which is very dark. So yeah, so I'm thinking somewhere near more like the end of September and stuff like that. So, for anyone that either wants to watch that or, wants to pull out a canvas themselves and have some colors, sitting there to do the same thing or whatever, feel free. Most of my pictures are ones from the internet that I fall in love with and like, and then usually I get put my own spin on it throughout the painting. And so it's like I start off with something and then I'll add my little things to it, so that I make it my own. But I love scenery. I love, you guys never got to saw them in one because it wouldn't let me upload it on the post, but it's like my Christmas ones where I have the train going through the snow, you know, um, And then I have the cabin one, which I did post, and the reflection of the cabin in the water. And then there was another one that I painted for Lauren, but she had them all on her wall because I gave her all three, the whole set. Um, and it was like she loves pink, so I did like a lot of pink in the Christmas tree type of thing in the forest. It's basically like a tree, surrounded by uh, pine trees and all that. Yes, why is Haley and others like Justin and others members being so quiet? Are they going to be used to as a witness? I honestly think, Robin, that again, it's like they say what they have to say and then they think, well, what more can I give? And yet there's a lot more that they can give, but it's just a, it's just how invested they are in fighting for truth for Jack and Lily, really, right? So, Belinda's the paternal grandmother, so she doesn't have to be here all the time fighting for Jack and Lily, but she does, you know. And then there's say, like Haley, like she has her own life and stuff like that. But is there things that she could still add by speaking and talking for Jack and Lily? Yes. Sometimes people just don't realize it, but they do have more information that people would want to know or ask. And people come to those lives because they typically want to hear from the family members. And that which brings more awareness, right? Stuff like that, you know. I do want to say that I did ask Brad a couple times. Well, I asked him the first time because I know a lot of people would come to the live if Brad was on it. He's never spoken on a live before or on a, say, a video and stuff like that, thinking maybe he was ready. Um, Now, no offense, Brad, but he ignored my message. Then he said he didn't ignore it. He was just been busy, granted. But then I messaged him right after he messaged me to basically say, you know what, just basically simply just a yes or no answer. So if you say no, I won't bug you about it. If you say yes, I'm obviously going to bug you about it. But, he seemed to have has quieted down a bit as well. But it's just one of those things that's like, I'm not going to sit there and keep writing Brad to come up. Would I love it? Would Belinda love it? Stuff like that. Does it bring awareness and stuff? Would you guys love it? Absolutely. Would I love it? Absolutely. Because Brad to me is like chilling with like a homie type of idea. You know, you can just shoot the shit, be free to swear, be free to tell it like it is and stuff like that. But, you know, obviously he has to always think too about his family, you know, because it always feels more worse than typically it is. So, maybe he doesn't want to join alive. But anyways, he didn't answer me the last time. So Brad, if you're watching this, answer my fucking question. Just answer me. Stop looking at the message and then just answer me, because I sent you two now basically on this one. But anyways, with that being said, my voice seems to be going. I'm not doing a live tomorrow. Charmaine, are you doing a live tomorrow? Are you doing a live? I work 12 to 8 tomorrow. Yeah. Mm. Yes, okay, so Charmaine, what time are you doing yours approximately, Missy? Charmaine says her legs and that are feeling better, but her feet and that. Mine were killing today. I keep getting that plump feeling underneath my foot when you're walking and you feel like the bottom of your palm of your foot is swollen there. It's this old age shit. I'm telling you guys. Old. Okay, so let's go through this, Charmaine. Okay, so Tom Lou, thank you so much for your $5 super sticker. Dodie, thank you so much for your 10 jewels. Belinda Believes, 13.99 super chat. Share Cares, 10 jewels. Share Cares, 10 jewels. And thank you guys for all your love and support for Belinda. And I'm going to hit refresh on the GoFundMe just in case it moved. Nope. Last one was still Joyous on there. But anyways, thank you guys for being here. Charmaine, did you mean me? Not sure. Depends on how the oh, must my feet and legs feel like they're pulled. Yeah, that's how my husband felt. You know, whenever his stomach was doing that hurtful pain thing, to just whatever, you know, and it would last for like 8 hours, and he'd be in so much pain, and it would like the pain from constantly like to your back and whatever. He would be sore for 2 or 3 days. Hey, Bev. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, I figure unless something else pops up my way and more stuff to talk about. Um, actually, no. No. So Friday I have to work till 3, 2:45 because I had to start earlier 15 minutes to get off earlier 15 minutes because guess what, Charmaine? Husband's getting his decals for his uh, company that he started, getting that all set up. So he's getting his decals and the website on the back, you know, like a car wrap, you guys. So it's just like, you know, starter stuff in a sense, just to have something on the vehicle. So he's going to have his British flags with his, you know, name, and then, you know, I put little tools on it to design around the flag, little wrench and all that. But anyways, so that'd do then that. So Friday, yeah, Friday. Yeah, we'll see how time's like. See what comes our way in a minute. Yeah, yeah, and for what he's getting done, honestly, it's just like $200. You know, you want to just hit the business on both sides so that you know you feel professional. If you're gonna go to someone's home, you know, and you have your name and your website on there. Yeah. But anyways, so I want to be there uh, when he drops off our vehicle. Not Charmaine, my little cub is turning into such a man. It's just an honor. Oh, Shannon RV, yeah. Prayers and we love you. Let me just see if she had said anything else. Just because. 2 hours and 45 minutes. Yeah. Love and light. Yeah. Oh, you guys, what did she say? Oh, no, that's okay. So that was just me asking her about what she thought of the interview. Basically saying, um, Shannon, although Shannon's sick, she's basically saying that Malaya makes her sicker. But anyways, I'll read that in just a bit, Shannon. Um, Marathon Sunny. Maybe one of these days. Go do a marathon. Maybe me and Charmaine, and we'll do like a marathon live. You know, those ones are always fun. Yeah. But fortunately, for the most part, it looks like, you know, yeah, whatever. I'm not even gonna say it. Thank you so much, Shani. Thank you so much, Shani. I sound like Dolly there, didn't I? Thank you so much. Or maybe I sounded like, what's her name? Miley Cyrus. Miley Cyrus. Anyways, thank you so much. Let me put that back up there. Thank you so much, Sunny and Delene, and thank you so much for everyone and all your support. Shannon, love you, light and light. Um, please hit the like button, share, love you all. Excellent idea. Excellente. Is Shannon okay, Sunny? Well, she's not okay, but she's, you know, fighting for sure. Love Shannon, sending healing vibes with much love from all of us. I type the word live too. Sometimes I say to my husband, live you a lot. I'm down. See if we can rattle some rat cages. Maybe one day me and Charmaine will go on a freaking road trip. I ain't talking like anytime in this is soon or something like that. But maybe at some point that would be awesome. You know, leave the fucking men. Do a woman thing. Shunny, yeah. Belinda, hugs beautiful. I think of all of you, or I think of you all day long. We all do. The heart does, not lie, as you know. Click the like for Harley. He's here with me. Yeah, make sure you guys click that like in this chat for Harley. Yeah. Do it for Ian as well. Go Ian. Yeah, bro, please answer. Come on, boss man. You can do it. Oh. Deborah, she really is sick with cancer. She's fighting hard. Yeah, yeah. Big prayers. Road trip to Mexico. Shakers, you enjoy us paying for that? If it's on you guys, absolutely. Go to Mexico. For sure. All inclusive as well. 100 likes and Ian will show his butt. My husband already showed his butt on a live. Don't need his butt to be shown again. Yeah, it's not good. Such a beautiful woman fighting for her life. Please, everyone, pray for Shannon. Yeah, I know. I always just remember where I asked when, what was it? Twinkie? And I was like, when I was told she had passed, I was like, wait, what the fuck? Oh, okay. So they're 1 for 1, Charmaine? Yeah. Anyways, Malaya, nothing to say. You've said it all. No worse words could be spoken than from the mother of 2 missing children. Share cares. Thank you for all your beautiful stuff that you keep buying for Jack and Lily to spread Jack and Lily's little faces everywhere and stuff like that. All the people on the GoFundMe. I feel like I'm doing one of those things. Just an honor being nominated. I got my pens. These are my rewards right here. Little dinosaur, little unicorn, Jack and Lily. Oops. Put those back there. Little Jack and Lily. But anyways, and I'll be thanking you when I get my next package. She had all these packages lined up. It's crazy. Malaya, free advice. Get a new therapist. Malaya, I'm pretty sure if I went to Google, I could give myself a license. Come talk to Sunny, Malaya. Come on now. I can help you. Actually, both Daniel and Malaya, come on down. We can do this. We can do it together. Imagine if I bullshitted like that. I can fix you. With Daniel, you just gotta frickin' lock him in a shed for a few years. And when I mean shed, I'm talking about solitary confinement, perhaps. Shannon is such an empath, and she is where and said where she felt the kids are. In a photo, I believe her. Charmaine, I will message you when I have time. The stepchildren here, but I will chat with you about my idea. I feel like helicopter mom loves you more, or that you got more time on your hands and I don't. Streamlabs, thank you for your kindness. Your donations are truly appreciated. They truly do help. Much love, Sunny. Oh, actually, to be honest with you, I thought it was a different one. Gotta love Streamlabs. If you're watching but are not subscribed, please click here. My feet are purple. My feet are purple, but I broke both of my ankles. That's crazy shit. Yeah. I will be next time. I'll break your ankles again if you want me to. Non-violent, of course. Shar, can you find out how Maya is doing before your next live? Okay, you people. Jack and Lily, if you haven't hit that like, please do. Please hit the share. I'm not going over 3 hours. It's 2 hours and 52 minutes. Thank you all, you lovelies, for being here. Now I feel like I sound like support with Steffa. My goodness, you have it. Yeah, absolutely. Anyways, bless everybody. I'll see ya probably Friday for sure. Probably. Maya is doing excellent. I will share an update tomorrow. All right. Okay, you guys. Love you. Thank you guys for being here. Appreciate you all. Belinda. Mwah. Chelsea. Wait. Chelsea doesn't get a full kiss. Belinda still loves me more. All right, fine. There you go. Catch it, Chelsea. Catch it like you mean it. Good night, everyone. Charmaine, you too. Charmaine. Mwah. Joyous. Lynn. Mwah. Who else? Marie Antoinette. Tom Lou. Mwah. Good night, Haley. Who's Haley? Not calling me Haley, are you? Dan Grendel. Mwah. Okay. Okay, truly I'm going now. I'm freaking hungry, man. Seriously. Hug everyone tonight and always tell them how much you love them. Oh, Harley. I was like, okay, because some people like Haley spells their name that way, you know? But anyways, okay. Have a good night. Jack and Lily, justice, prayers, and answers. And see you guys soon. Charmaine, have a good live tomorrow.